We tried to approach all the big gags of the film from the point of view of doing as much for real as possible, because I think that the audience is inherently aware of a fully computer-generated image. So even where we've had to enhance things with visual effects, we've tried to do an impressive stunt to get something very impressive in camera. For the sequence where Batman jumps off the building in Hong Kong, we found this amazing location, and we had planned, and I'd very much pushed to do the stunt itself for real. And Paul Jennings and his guys came up with a way of tethering a stuntman to a helicopter on a bungee so he could actually jump off and then be carried away from the building. Logistically, it was a very, very tricky thing to work out, and they had to rehearse it in Chicago, but they actually got it working incredibly well.
I have a static line attached to my back, and then on an action I have to jump out almost like a swan dive until the line catches me up, and then just do a giant pendulum underneath the helicopter. Was a hell of a pendulum that was going to take me back to where I just came from. So as I hit the bottom of the pendulum, the pilot just took all my momentum out and then just swung me around. That's something, one, that I've never really seen done before, and two, I've never done anything quite as hair-raising as that, is because you're jumping into the unknown. That's the closest I've actually felt to flying, because you get the wind in your hair and everything, and it was a rush.
And we were recording all of this to look, when Batman does do a jump in Hong Kong, how would he drop, how would he fly, how would it work?
At the end of the day, the bureaucratic difficulties of filming in a major city with helicopters, to do that stunt for real on location proved to just be too impossible, and would have restricted all the other things we were trying to do in Hong Kong. So we wound up adopting a visual effects approach instead.
For that, what we basically did was that we shot IMAX tiles and digital stills of the whole landscape of Hong Kong. And having shot those, we then went back to Cardington and we built an enormous green screen and an enormous green screen airbag down below. And we did a descender dive with one of our stuntmen, Buster.
Buster was jumping about 120 feet on this gag, so even though it's a visual effect, there's still a major stunts component to it.
But when you see Batman standing on top of the tower in Hong Kong, that's actually Christian standing on the tower for real. That's not a CGI shot, there's no trickery at all, and Christian absolutely wanted to be the person standing there.
And it didn't faze him at all, actually.
Judge Cirillo's car was an interesting one because the location they choose to do it was quite a to-well-do part of Chicago, and explosions and sort of nice houses and don't go together too great. And one thing we had to do was we did many tests to make sure we weren't going to start cracking windows and things like that.
When you're ready. 3, 2, 1.
Rather than just do the normal car explosion where it sits there and a ball of flame comes out of it, I wanted to really get it flipping over, which we actually did, which accentuates the ferocity of the explosion. But it's a little bit nerve-wracking because it's always a bit embarrassing for window smashes, and especially in an upmarket district like that. The Lamborghini crash was pretty much all down to George Cottle, the stunt driver, actually. We put in our safety bars, to ensure that he had a fair bit of protection around him.